my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this is the Friday cover challenge video. Um, it's going to be a special video, actually, very special, like super, super duper awesomely special video today. I don't know how to describe it. So, what I want you to do is to look for one shots. These can be anything, but I'm going to show something that are one shots from a very particular publisher. I'm going to show all the one shots from this particular publisher, actually. So I only expect you to show 10 one shots. So you could show, like, for example, like Giant Size X-Men. I don't know if that's a one shot. I think that's a one shot. I think they only did one of it. Those kind of things, like where it's just a one shot, a comic that came out with just one issue and that was it. These are all one shots from the publisher Warren Publishing. Now, I'm a big Warren Publishing fan, collector guy. I have the complete American, and I have all the Spanish, and I have like pretty much majority of the of all the Warrens that were ever produced. But I'm missing a few of these foreign ones. But I have a really great American collection. As I said, I have the complete collection, and I'm going to show you all of the Warren one-shots, and there was a bunch of them. And the reason I'm showing this week is for my Q&A video, which I just did on Wednesday, I was asked the question, and for some reason it didn't get printed out when I printed out the questions. I was asked the question from Comic Mag Musings to show me all of the Warren one-shots. And he thought there was like 10 to 15 of them. Well, I'm going to show you how many there are. There's more than 10. There's more than 15. So we're going to get into them. I'm just going to go rapid fire through them, and it'll be really cool. These will be things you normally do not see. And the very final one is one that you never see. So you're going to stay tuned for that. There's a few others. Actually, there's a few that I'm not showing. I think I actually showed in a previous video where they are one-shots that there's only a few known to exist from Warren. But let's get into these ones first, and I'll show those in a later video maybe. So this is The Mole People, and this is like a movie that came out where literally there was mole people, and this is what they look like. This is the movie poster from it, you can see. And it's the great typical like monster holding the girl and like carrying her off or something like that. But yeah, so we got Mole People. It's kind of cute little panels. This was something, if you're familiar with Warren Publishing, one of the things that Forrest J. Ackerman did, who is the kind of editor, helped kind of partner to Warren Publishing, he basically had a massive collection of movie stills of these horror movies and sci-fi movies from the 50s, 40s, and 30s even. And he loved, he had this really weird humor. He loved to do this kind of thing where you got like, Arr! And then, the girl saying, help, the beasts have escaped. And it's like, ee. It's like, that's his humor. I don't know. It's like, it's kind of cheesy, but this is a classic Warren magazine. So that's the first one. And this is a rare one, actually, this next one. This one's kind of a funny one. This was a person that was super popular in the 60s and actually kind of made a resurgence recently because of a scary movie that came out. And this is Tiny Tim. And he did a song called Tiptoe Through the Tulips. And they created a one-shot based on him. This is him. He was kind of a weird character. He had this really crazy high falsetto voice, or very high-pitched voice. And he just would play on his little ukulele, tiptoe through the tulips. And this is him on the back singing all those songs. So just a weird book called Tiny Tim, and it's devoted to the singer, questionably singer Tiny Tim. So tiptoe through the tulips. And then we got Future World Comics. Now this is actually kind of a one-shot, but kind of not. So there's a few in this title called Warren Presents. And Warren Presents had a few issues. They never really numbered the issues. It's not like number 1, 2, 3, and 4. But they were kind of one-shot. So you got Future World Comics. This is an example. And which has some really great, I think that's actually, I'm not sure who did that. That's really, I think it's Corbin, but I'm not sure. Then we got Alien Invasion Comics. This is another one of these Warren Presents. You'll see it right there. It says Warren Presents. And as I said, these were like kind of a series, but not really a series. They were all just one-shots. So you got Alien Invasion Comics. And then another one of the Warren Presents is Dracula 79. So that's nice Bela Lugosi cover on the back, or cover on the back of the cover. You got Lugosi Dracula, and we got Wanted Rook. This is again Warren Presents. These are all from the same kind of series, but not, they're all one-shots. Series of one-shots, if that makes sense. And you can see that they're very different in terms of their content. So then we got Lord of the Rings. This was actually the first published comic book art for Lord of the Rings. So this was when they came out with the animated movie. This was the magazine that came out with kind of like the stills and stuff from it. So this is Warren Special Edition, Lord of the Rings. It's from 1979. And then actually I'll skip that one for now. Wait, then we'll do another Warren Presents. This is Strange Stories of Vampires Comics. It's a great Dracula cover. And you can even get the Dracula Dirt Pendant. I actually have one of these. They're pretty cool. But basically, see how it looks like really nice? It's like gold and, you know, it just looks amazing. The real thing is very, very different than this. It's plastic, and it's just like, and the chain will definitely turn your neck green. And it's supposed to have the dirt from Transylvania. So it's Dracula's dirt. I don't know where they got the dirt from, but that was the gimmick behind it. But this is Strange Stories of Vampires Comics, and it's appropriate that they have a Dracula pendant on the back. The next one is Ring of the Warlords. This is again Warren Presents, and this is another really great cover. I'm not sure who did this one. San Julian. Yeah, really great stuff. He really great artist. And then we got another Warren Presents. This is Pantha. It's a really great comic. I like Pantha. She could basically turn into a panther. that's her skill. She was a fun character. Half the time she was running around naked, but that's maybe why I liked her so much. The next one is Warren Presents Empire Encounters Comics. This is another sci-fi space one. So Star Wars 2 Inside Scoops. This is probably just before, or just around the time that Empire Strikes Back came out. So you can see all the toys on the back. And it's kind of cool to see these vintage toys. So this is Star Wars, Warren Presents Empire Encounters Comics. Sort of like Empire Strikes Back, but not quite. I think they were trying to get away with as much as they could. So then the next one is another Warren Presents, Movie Aliens Illustrated. And this shows like Darth Vader and a whole bunch of different movie aliens, like Creature Black Lagoon. And yeah, a whole bunch of cool aliens. And the next one is a Sword and Sorcery Comics. So again, another Warren Presents. I forgot how many there. Now, some of these actually do have numbers. So actually, I want to quickly go back one book. So this one right here, it actually shows Warren Presents number, I'm not sure if you can see it. I'm going to try to make it so that you can see it. Warren Presents number 4. Again, these were one-shots in a series. It's weird to explain, but not all of them are numbered. So it's sort of like one of those things where you have to guess at the numbers. And then several of them were not numbered at all. So it's like they skip numbers, and it's the weirdest thing. So that's hard to explain. but there's like, I think it goes like 1 through 7, and then 8 and 9 are missing or something like that. It's like, and then it goes 10, 11. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. But this one is Warren Presents Sword and Sorcery Comics. Again, this one's not numbered, which is so weird about them. This was based on the movie Dragon Slayer. And then we got Warren Presents, this is the third one. This is Rex Havoc. So this is Warren Presents Rex Havoc. And he's just sort of kind of like Indiana Jones kind of character. Again, not numbered, but that's always considered to be number 3. Then we got another one, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. This is another one-shot. So this is way more than 10. So I'm not showing 10, but for the cover challenge, just show 10. I'm just showing all the Warren ones. So this is just a special show today where I'm showing more than 10 covers. But this is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And the next one is UFO and Alien Comics. Interesting cover. And I'm not sure if this says Warren Presents. So this says UFO and Alien Comics number 1. There is no number 2, but it is a one-shot. Okay. And then we're going to do another Warren Presents. This is Warren Presents Moonraker. And this is the official movie adaptation of Moonraker. So really, actually, I really liked Moonraker. It was one of my favorite James Bond movies. I like this guy up here. And at the end, he meets like some cute girl. Some cute, geeky girl. So I thought that was kind of fun. He becomes a good guy at the end. I really liked Moonraker. It's kind of one of the first James Bond movies I remember, like watching like when it came out kind of thing. So yeah, that's maybe why I'm a little bit nostalgic to it. I like the fact that, he's got all the Bond girls on the back of this too. It's kind of fun. So Warren Presents Moonraker. And then we got more. It just doesn't end. We got Warren Presents Galactic War Comics. Now, this one I believe is numbered. Nope, I am totally wrong. It's not numbered. I thought it was numbered. But yeah, so this is Warren Presents Galactic War Comics. This has like Battlestar Galactica and stuff like that. And then this one's a cool one. This is Warren Presents Alien. And this one's considered rare. I don't think so. A lot of these Warren Presents are actually pretty common. You can find them fairly easily. They don't really go for that much. But this is Warren Presents Alien. This one might go for a bit more just because it is Alien. That's the only reason. And then we got another Warren Presents. Kind of. This one's a weird one. This is a one-shot through another title that they had, which was Famous Monsters. Sort of their flagship title was Famous Monsters of Filmland. So the ones that most comic collectors would know would be like Creepy, Eerie, and Vampirella. So Vampirella got her start in Warren Publishing. They were the ones that created Vampirella. But their flagship title, as I said, was Famous Monsters. And this is sort of a one-shot from that other title called Famous Monsters. So it's Famous Monsters Star Wars Spectacular. And this is like that famous scene where you got them playing their chess game, and the Wookiee is probably going to pull out C-3PO's arm if he doesn't play correctly. So it's a matter of letting him lose. So yeah, so then we got, nice Obi-Wan on the background where he's depowering the shields. So that's kind of cool. You'd think they would notice that or have some button in their station, but that's beside the point. Okay, next one is Warren Presents Meteor. So this is another one of the ones. I'm not even sure if this one's numbered. As I said, most of them weren't numbered. It's like really random the way that they did it. So yeah, Warren Presents The Meteor from 1980. Interesting. And this is kind of funny because I think that's the Twin Towers right there. I'm not sure. It kind of looks like the Twin Towers a little bit. And then you see the Twin Towers getting decimated. Almost almost like a prophetic kind of decimation of the Twin Towers. So yeah. Okay, the next one is another one that's Star Wars related. Star Wars Revisited. And it says, this is another Warren Presents. Star Quest Comics. So you got that. And I believe this one, nope, again, not numbered. I don't know why they're not numbered. But again, these are all one-shots from the same series called Warren Presents. So Star Quest Comics. And actually, I think they use the same cover in one of the creepier series. Okay, so those are some of the one-shots. And we're going to get into some different ones. So those are mostly from I think there was 14 in the total from the Warren Presents collection. And there was a couple where they're not really defined. So nobody really knows if they were part of the Warren Presents or not. So it's kind of weird. But then we got some other ones. This is earlier than Warren Presents. This is from the 60s. This is On the Scene, Superheroes. This is sort of a one-shot, and it was based on the popularity of the new Batman movie, or the Batman movie of that time, which was based on the 1967 Batman series. So, or 1967 or 66, one of those years. So yeah, so just a really cool, campy Batman movie. So yeah. Okay, now I'm going to show you a series of 4 books that are all one-shots that are the rarer of the Warren one-shots. Most people don't even know that these ones exist. Some of them you could only order from the back pages of Warren. You couldn't actually, they weren't like ones that appeared on the shelves. And they're usually very low print runs, so less than 500 kind of print runs. So the first one is Dracula. And this was Spanish artists working on it. And it's just a very cool book. Show you the back. And very beautifully illustrated. Very fun stuff, actually. Really great. So this is Dracula. And then we have another one. This is The Weird World of Richard Corbin. And it's just, if you love Richard Corbin, he was the first artist that I actually collected. So I'm a big fan of Richard Corbin. Yeah, I didn't really ever pay attention to the artist names until I saw Richard Corbin stuff. And his stuff was just, the colors were just so vibrant, and the style was just so like clay, almost like claymation kind of style of people, that I really kind of liked it. I don't know, something about it I really liked. I liked the kind of mixture of cartoon and realism. I don't know, I just really enjoyed Richard Corbin's stuff. So I actually collected not just the stuff from him and Warren, but beyond that. And I have a pretty good Richard Corbin collection. So this is The Odd Comic World of Richard Corbin. And again, another one shot. You can see the back. Okay, last two books. This one is one of the more expensive books. They figure there was probably about only 400 of these printed. Who knows? It's one of those ones I actually paid a lot for this book, even at the time. This is back in the 90s. I paid a lot for this book. I think I paid, and it was signed. It's actually, my copy is signed by Forrest J. Ackerman. So this is The House of Horror. I think I bought this back in late 90s. I paid like $250 for it. It was big money. So yeah, it's a really hard book to get. This one's a really high grade copy actually. And it's just a really hard book to get. Like, this is one of the ones that took me the longest to find. So House of Horror. And the absolute most difficult, probably the biggest Warren book of all. And it's a one-shot. So after Vampirella 1 and after, some of the famous monsters ones, this is probably bigger in a way. Maybe not as valuable, but it's still expensive, like in the thousands. But it's ultra rare. Like, it's just insanely rare. And this is the illustrated history of Heidi Saha. And you're probably wondering, who is Heidi Saha? Well, Heidi Saha was a friend of James Warren and Forrest J. Ackerman. She was a girl that would, in her teens, we're talking like 14 kind of age. This is her at probably 14, 15. She would go to the conventions and wear these skimpy little outfits. And her parents were, I think they were in like movies or something like that. And they became friends as well with Warren and James Warren and Forrest J. Ackerman. So they all sort of were in a little circle of friends. And they decided to make a comic magazine based on her, a photo thing. Totally one-shot-ish. You could only order this in the back issues of Warren. And they actually advertised it a little bit. They printed less than 500 of these. I'm not even sure why they promoted it. It's just such a weird thing. But that's what she looked like. And as I said, she was just a girl that would dress up. She would dress up as Vampirella. She would dress up as like Jungle Girls and stuff like that, and go to the conventions. And she was just kind of a popular girl because of that. So this is an illustrated history of Heidi Saha. Incredibly rare book. Virtually, you can never find it as I drop it. You can. It's really hard to find. So those are all the one shots from Warren. Now there are a couple others. There was convention books that are all one shots. They were like things like the Vampirella special and the Vampirella yearbook annual. And then there was things like, so I didn't know if I should count those or not. There was also a Spirit special as well. There was also Blazing Combat Anthology. So those were all one-shots as well, but they're kind of part of a series, so I didn't include those. There was also a few one-shots that are really rare that I have that were in the 60s. They had this thing where you could write into Warren Publishing and say, hey, I want to film. I have a script idea. So they actually came out with a couple movie scripts from Warren, and they were typewriter printed. So they weren't even published. There was a few copies printed through the typewriter, and so those are one shots as well, and I have those. They actually came from Forrest J. Ackerman's private collection. And also I have the first convention book from Forrest J. Ackerman's collection as well, where they had an early convention in the 60s and he basically typed it out himself. had a little convention plan. So those are all one shots, but they're kind of not really in the published area. So these are the ones that you can find and hopefully add to your collection. Good luck finding the Heidi Saha, but they're pretty fun. These are pretty cool magazines. I'm a big fan of Warren. Just going through these again, just it brings back so much nostalgia for me. I really enjoy these books. They're so weird and wonderful that I really enjoy them. So what did you think? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You might see some cool things on this channel that you might like. And if you're interested in participating in this one-shot cover challenge, just find books that are one-shots, like, whatever it is, one-shots, and do the following hashtags in your video so everybody can see it. One shot and Friday comic challenge. Do those 2 hashtags and include me. Do like an @Comic Collector Geek, and then I'll get a notification that you've done a video, and I'll check it out, and I'll even comment on it. So yeah, I hope people participate in this one. I'd love to see what one-shots people come up with. But this was a very special version of this video where I did all of the Warren one-shots. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks again.